What is good, people? Welcome back to the Zone podcast. It's been a long time. We had a summer hiatus and whatever, but we're here to talk about the Premier League because the Premier League is back in 2 days' time. Joining me, I have my usual suspects. Over to my bottom left, I have the one and only James Lewis. J Extended. How are you, broski?
It's home. It's home. I know it's about Premier League, but it's home.
It's home, bro. It's home, man. Quick shout out to the Lionesses. We were both there at the game. I didn't even see you once. You know, I saw everyone but you.
I was not at the game.
Oh no, yeah, you went at the game. Yeah, you had the vid. Yeah, I just remembered.
It's tough.
But it was lit though. I can't lie.
Charge it
to next one, man. New Zealand, innit? We'll have to go New Zealand. But also joining me, I have the one and only Rich Mickey, Rich London. How are you, broski?
No, a new season, new name. We can't be covered into the things to call it be Rich Mickey. But you know what, man?
What's your new name then? Give me the new name.
I don't. In fact, Rich Mickey was never the name. It was all about defender of justice and all sorts. True speaker. A level gospel fan, even though I'm just a level-headed gospel fan. What else? Mr. No Agendas, straight facts. But yeah, man. Saying that, I've got new agendas loading.
Mr. No Agenda's new agendas. That's all I need to hear. Last but not least, we have the self-proclaimed Brown Bayless. Abbas Younes, how are you, broski?
I'm good. The one thing we can say is my name's never changing. I've got my identity and I'm happy with it.
I said he's got his way, his playing style, and that's it.
If anybody can take my name, I'm calling them out straight away.
Fair enough. I hear it. All right. As I said, the Premier League starts next Friday. I was going to say next Friday night. It starts in 2 days' time. It's early because of the World Cup. And obviously, guys, let's get it over and done with. I know all of our teams, respective teams, have been busy or somewhat busy in the transfer market. But first thing I want to know is, what are you guys looking forward to most in this Premier League season? Abbas, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to most?
Outside of my team or with my team as well, included?
Both. Give me both.
With my team, I want to see if we can actually get closer to the top two. Like, with all the money we put in, because if we get these transfer targets that we all linked to, if we get them through, that's a good transfer window. So I want to see how close we can really get. And if not, is the time ticking on Tuchel? Because I feel like any other manager, like if Roman Abramovich had been still in charge, I think he would have been sacked to start with. So I'm kind of excited to see what this new owner can do, how lenient he is, how quickly is he ready to push that button to get a new manager in. So for my own team, I just want to get us closer. I want to get rid of this myth that Chelsea are just a cup team and that we can only make one league run in 5 years, which kind of is what we do, to be fair. Outside of that, the project of United, I want to see how good you guys will turn out to be, even though your midfield still stinks. And then I want to see what Tottenham could do. There's a lot of talk about Tottenham. The fact that they got Champions League last year. I hear some people saying the signings they've made, or the fact that they can keep these players in terms of like Harry Kane and stuff, how happy they are. I'm looking at the top end, really. The bottom, I can't lie. It all falls out to the same teams, like the Championship teams. How many of them really are going to stay up? And then probably Everton, because I feel like, I know it's too early to say, but I feel like Everton's one of the favourites to go down. So I'm just seeing where they'll do. But yeah, really, my own team, I want to see how our owner actually is throughout a proper season. If he's going to push the button when the things get harder, will he stick with it? How good is Thomas Tuchel really as a league manager? And if he can push forward with these signings to bridge the gap, I guess, to the top two. But yeah, outside of that, I genuinely think it's going to be kind of one of them seasons where, yeah, it looks fun, but I think everything's just going to fall into place like it normally really does. And we're not going to see a lot of crazy shocks this year.
James, I wanted to ask you, obviously, Abbas mentioned the likes of Spurs, Chelsea, even United. What about Arsenal? You've now spent the most money again in a transfer window. Arteta's still your manager. Are you looking forward to the season, especially with All or Nothing coming out tomorrow? Are you looking forward to the season?
Yeah, I think as an Arsenal fan, there's nothing to lose, really. Gabriel Jesus has looked good. Zinchenko, decent signing. I don't know. I think with Arsenal, it's kind of, let's just see what happens. But it's not like a team that doesn't look exciting. You've got Saka, you've got Martinelli. There's Ramsdale's just been given number one. It's like all those kind of like happy, feel good moments going into the season. All or Nothing is going to be hilarious. I think All or Nothing actually takes the pressure off Arsenal because everyone's going to laugh at Arsenal because of All or Nothing, and then just get the season to just kind of do their thing. But if we lose to Palace, that'll be horrendous. Like, we just need to start the season with a win. If we don't start the season with a win, then it could get very long very quickly.
No, but listen, you started the season with a loss to Brentford last time, and
I remember how that ended up. Like, we don't need that.
3 in a row, right?
Yeah. So let's just get that W. Let's just get that first W. Let's calm Patrick down.
You know what I mean? Rich Mickey, last but not least, is there any other teams you haven't mentioned where you're thinking you're excited to watch?
There's a team I was excited, but I'm fascinated by Man City this season because I genuinely think they have taken a step backwards with what they've done in the transfer window. In attack, we're giving away Jesus and Sterling, and it's not particularly giving away those players. I just don't think. I think who they're putting as well, Haaland, which I think everybody believes once you go to City and Liverpool, you're guaranteed success, and I just don't think that's the case. And I do think Haaland will score goals, but the thing I was always questioning is how is he going to fit the Pep style of play, and the game against Liverpool kind of showed where my doubts were in terms of he's not really a technical player, he's not really a pass around, all that kind of play. He's always, you know what, I'm going to try and run in behind, and Pep likes to keep the ball. I think to make it worse, is you now got Grealish and Mahrez on the wings, which none of them are really lightning quick players. So that's probably going to hinder KDB a bit in terms of the free balls he likes to play out wide and stuff. So, I mean, I think City will still be dominant to an extent, but I just do think they've taken a step backwards in terms of the higher goal that they want to reach. And I think before last week, I would have not really cared about what Chelsea season, just because I think there is a thing in terms of when Arsenal are making all these signings and Spurs are making all these signings, I think people start talking about how Chelsea might be finished, quote unquote finished, because we have not made all the signings we want to make. But to me, I was just thinking them teams are making signings to catch up to Chelsea. It's not really signings because we were comfortably the best team in the league. But then, I mean, I think it's reached a point where we've now gone 5 years without winning the league. We don't want to stop going into that. In fact, it's never just 5 years without winning the league. It's 5 years without competing for the league. And I don't want to enter that United and Arsenal territory where we keep going years after years after years without competing or challenging. So I think it'll be, as Abbas said, it'll be interesting to see what Chelsea do this season. And I think Arsenal could be quite fascinating as well because, as you mentioned, they've done back-to-back. And I don't agree with James where he says there is no pressure or anything. I think there is more pressure on Arsenal than ever before because when they finished fifth last season after Boston top four, people said that, but this is where Arsenal meant to be, so it's progress, this and that. I think this season, if they don't make top four, is a massive failure.
But we have all of those competitions again, so it's not just one game a week.
No, but really, truly, yeah. Agenda said, I do really think this is Arsenal have to do it because, I mean, Tottenham signings. I'm not, apart from Basuma, I'm not really impressed by any of Tottenham's other signing. I don't think they moved the needle. Richarlison, he's coming to play on the bench. He's not really a starter. Harry Kane and Son were still there. They're going to do their thing. But the overall squad is nothing that really impresses me. And United are still crap. They're going into another season with McFred. So there is no reason. I mean, Saka's had another year under his belt. Martinelli's going to come into his own. They've added Saliba to the back, who looks like a promising player. Ben White, he's moved to right back now, but it's not like he hasn't played there before. And you've added Shinchenko as well, who is a decent player. So I think, although there's competition, well, they're going to have to competition for anything you want to accomplish. You can't say because there's competition, then you don't reach your goals. So, in my opinion, I think Arsenal are another fascinating team to watch this year.
As you said with Chelsea, obviously, like recently you signed the likes of Cucurella. Where do you feel like, because you said you were comfortably in third and I still don't think you're anywhere near City or Liverpool, what do Chelsea need to get to that level of City and Liverpool?
I think is attackers. I think the profile of attackers that we do sign. I think it's one of those things. I think Chelsea are a team that we like to go for big names. Like we either go for big names or we go for nobodies. Like there is no in between for us. I do see we're linked to that. I don't know if I say his name properly, Sesko, or the
Benjamin
one that
Sesko, yeah.
that he had a really good game against Liverpool. And I won't lie to you, I told you I watched him, but from what I've just seen on that game alone, it does look like the type of profile we might need anyways. Because like I am tired of watching Ziyech cross the ball from the halfway line. Werner, he helps us win the Champions League, which I'm grateful for. But I mean, it's time we need to move on from. I'll still sing it, but it's time to move on. So I do think, although we're spending all this money on defenders, if all our signings, the Cucurella one was the least important for me, and it seems to be the one we get over the line first. So I do think the attack is where we need to get more quality around. Like even if you have Havertz, Mount, and Sterling, that's good. But the people that then, let's say, come off the bench, if Mount gets injured, if Havertz gets injured, the quality or the squad depth isn't there. So I do think that's where we need to strengthen the most.
Do you know what? To echo Richard's point, I think we just need prolific goal scorers. Like I keep saying this, people get at Chelsea, but I say to people, just look at the way we score goals. Like I say it all the time. For as long as I support Chelsea, I can probably name 3 strikers who have come in and actually score goals: Drogba and Nelka and Costa. Outside of that, there's not really anybody who's like had good back-to-back seasons where you're looking at them like, yes, you guys are scoring goals. So I'm with Richard on that. We tried it though with Lukaku. We tried to bring in a striker with him. It didn't work out. It was twofold: one, the system, and 2, him personally. So if we don't have a out and out striker, we just need to be fluid in goals. If we can get that, then we're good. I think a bit of it kind of lays on Kai Havertz this year to up his goal production, especially if he plays more forward. But then another thing is Raheem Sterling. Like I think for what people don't realize, he's a very good signing. Like he could arguably be the best signing of the summer because of the age and the money. Yeah,
Sorry.
so that's the way I'm kind of with Richards on prolific goal scorers. The only thing I'll say is with the system, the way Tuchel plays systems, last year we saw when Chilwell went out and Reece James went out, we kind of struggled. So I kind of get having very good full-back cover, and then we need the centre-backs. I think De Jong, if we can get him playing alongside Kovacic, that would be nice. But I mean, Richard, we don't need a striker. We just need one goal scorer throughout the entire season and the rest to contribute. But I don't personally see that happening for Chelsea because if you really think about it, there's not actually elite strikers out there that are available or of a young age. Like, can you really spend a big amount of money on Karim Benzema, Robert Lewandowski, stuff like that? Can you really spend that? And arguably, you'd probably say no because they're going to be now. Whereas that's the only problem. I don't think there's actually elite strikers out there now that can score goals.
But you know what's funny as well? I don't even think we need an elite striker. I just think is just competent attack. Like one player that I really wish we could have got was Dembele because he's somebody that'll be able to beat his man 1-on-1. He can create chances, and then maybe someone like Sterling can be the main creator. But as I said before, we've got Mount, Havertz, and Sterling as our front three, which is good enough for where we are now. But then if it comes to a point where we need to bring someone off the bench, we're bringing on Ziyech, Werner, Hudson-Odoi, and all them players. They're not. No.
Nah, don't do Hudson-Odoi like that. Stop it. Stop.
There's still some stocks in Hudson-Odoi. But I'm just saying, it's just like I'm not trusting Werner to be our game changer off the bench. Like we need proper quality just in attack, whether it's on the wings or in striker, like players that can actually play football with their feet.
And considering there's 5 subs this season as well, that's obviously another factor to take that into account. You just mentioned Mount, Havertz, Sterling. If that's your front three, do you feel like you can finish in the top 4?
Definitely. I think that is enough to finish in the top 4. But as I said, but I think the problem with that the problem I'm having as a Chelsea fan right now is I don't want it to be like finishing in the top 4 should be where we are. If we have another season that we don't try and compete, I think Chelsea fans or Chelsea in general should be fuming. So that's why if I say, for example, I don't think we can compete, it's not compete against the likes of Arsenal, United, or Tottenham. It's trying to get to the next level where we can actually compete. You
haven't done that in the past 5 years.
Second? No, but that's what I'm saying. My point is, I don't want to get into the stage of where getting top 4 is successful or getting top 4 is okay, because you speak about City and Liverpool and all you hear with them is league title, league title, league title. Then you speak about Chelsea and you're talking about top 4. It's come to a point that that should not be acceptable anymore. So can that finish? And as Abba said before, if Havertz going to lead the line, I do think Havertz is a very good player, but he needs to up his numbers this year. Like, we can't have the same 6 and 5. At least give us 12 goals this season if you're going to play in that position. But he will help link the attack and I'm hoping big thing from Sterling, but I just don't want it to be you get top 4 and then we go again next season and it's top 4 because allegedly City and Liverpool can't be caught.
Okay, so going on to, because I don't really want to talk about Man United. There's nothing. If we're talking about top 4 right now, there's nothing to talk about with Man United. I don't see us making.
Let's talk about your team just for a brief minute. How are you so desperate for one player, but you still can't get him? I don't.
Well, we all know the Frankie De Jong situation. Like, let's put it this way: I don't think Ten Hag's an idiot. I don't think Ten Hag would tell the club go hammer and tongs for a player that he doesn't have an inkling in which they don't want to sign. For instance, when we were linked with Brian Bobby or the other guy from Ajax, Urian Timber, as soon as we found out that they don't really want to come here, the talks died down. And the fact that this Frankie De Jong saga has gone on for so long, there must be something there. The reason, I think it's a leverage situation because Barcelona are a waste cadet of a club, and I hope they liquidate. They owe him 17 million and they can't register their new players without getting rid of him. So he knows a financial situation. So they're kind of gonna have to get rid of him. They even told him, listen, Frankie, you can stay here, but you're gonna have to cut your wages by 40%. Again, considering he's already cut his wages from 500 grand before, so he's gonna have to cut his wages again if he wants to stay. Or we're gonna have to sell you, broski. But if I'm Frankie now and I'd be like, okay, cool, I want to leave. And they're like, all right, cool, leave. But then don't worry about your 17 mil. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think any of us want to lose 17 mil. Do you know what I mean? So it's a sticky situation because it's kind of like, does Man United go and pay that 17 mil as well? Do Barcelona just cough up the peas? It's such a long ass transfer saga, which I couldn't care less for anymore.
What about Ronaldo? I'm going to play your role. What about Ronaldo?
He can go if he wants to.
Today MLS.
Well, this is the thing. No, does he know? Nah, but he can go if he wants to. But no one wants him, so you might as well stay. Just go play one game a week. I don't want him to stay if he doesn't want to be there. I don't want to keep anyone that wants to be. I'd rather, because we're gonna have to get rid of him next season anyway, and just let the rebuild and start a rebuild. But no one wants him unless he goes back to Sporting and just has a farewell.
No.
Say that again.
I said, you see that picture? Does anybody want me?
Yeah.
As I said, yeah, I do think the situation with Ronaldo United is a bit I don't know, it's interesting because I don't think it's as simple as I've seen a lot of people talk about how Ronaldo's disrespecting the club and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't think I think he's come back and he's seen the lack of ambition in the club. As I said before, Ronaldo could leave and United could start playing better. I
don't think it's lack of ambition.
No, but what I mean is
United, don't get twisted. United do lack ambition, right? But we're starting. We have to. When you start again in a rebuild, you have to build from the ground up, right? So we're in the start of a rebuild with a new manager who's trying to get us back to the top and where he wants to be. We all know where that is. It's the fact we're not in Champions League. Like, let's be honest. I know he's 37, bro. He's got limited amount of time. Considering Real Madrid have just won a Champions League, and now Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, and them man have the same amount of Champions Leagues as him. Ronaldo doesn't have time to waste to be playing in the Europa League, in which really and truly I don't blame him because he's still a good player. So go to a Champions League team if you want to, but unfortunately no one wants you, broski. So it's not our fault. Fair enough, we were crap last season, and that's not our fault, but that's the situation we're in now. You either suck it up, play for the Premier League, and help us get back into the Champions League.
People don't want him because of the player he is or because of his contracts.
I think people saying that they don't want him because of the player he is ridiculous. Let's get one thing straight. Like, Man United had their worst Premier League season in 30 years and he still got 18 Premier League goals at the age of 36, 37. And that's ridiculous. People like to say that, oh, he doesn't press, he doesn't do this. I think it's proper lazy. I saw him pressing the other day against Rayo Vallecano, and that was his first. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's lazy journalism.
I was just gonna come to in terms of, I think the way the media has portrayed him to be like, you know what, he's just in the box. If he doesn't score, he doesn't do much, blah blah. And I think I start seeing that people say Ronaldo scoring is detrimental to his teammates and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
so many people have said that, but that's not down to him. How can I, just because I'm scoring more and you're scoring less, I'm detrimental to the team? You guys
But,
need to be
but
up to
this
my
is where I
level.
come from when I said that Ronaldo could leave and United do play better. But the thing is, United's ambition is to get back to the top one day. And I don't think, no matter how well these players play without Ronaldo, these sort of players will never reach that stage, which is why a whole rebuild is happening at United. But
Well,
then
wait. Say that again.
I don't think the current set of United players will ever get back to the top of where United want to reach again.
Oh no, of
Even
course.
if they do play better with or without Ronaldo. So I do think it's one of those things. Now the rebuild is happening. He's 37. He doesn't have time for a rebuild, and I do think that's where the friction is. But then he does have a huge contract. Unless he goes somewhere on a free, if any team like Bayern's going to buy him, they'll probably have to start breaking their wage structure and all sorts. So I don't think it's as easy to just say, obviously, you don't want him. But if there was a way United could terminate his contract or they could buy out or whatever,
You can't buy the contract's too much. You can't buy him out. And no,
Yeah.
United won't want to
I'd say
anyway.
it's too much.
You know, it's too much, and he brings in so much from a club and financial standpoint. There's no way Man United want to get rid of him. So it's just he just doesn't want to be here in a rebuild, which I don't blame him. But at the same time, no one wants you, broski. So what can you do? Like, it's just a sticky situation. As for Man United, listen, until we make other signings, I don't see us making top four. I'm happy with Ten Hag. I'm happy the way we played during preseason, and I feel like Man United are going to be a much better team. For those that haven't watched Man United during preseason, we're going to be a much better team than we were last season, which isn't hard because last season was our worst season ever. It was worse than the Moyes year, right? So that's not going to happen again. But to get to the top four, we're walking into another season with McFred. Like, we're walking into it after another transfer window. We're walking into another season with McFred. So I still don't.
I
feel
know
like
we
we're
have
gonna
a backup in attack as well.
And we need a backup. Yeah, exactly. We need a backup in attack. We need a right back as well. We might need a backup keeper. So there's still signings to be made. And listen, I know the season starts early, but the window shuts September 1st. So there's still a lot of time and a lot of time left. But I don't know. But anyway, that's enough about United. And we've kind of really talked about the top four. I want to quickly talk about. We spoke a bit about relegation sides, but it's probably going to be most of the championship and maybe a bit of cheeky Everton. I want to know you guys' biggest hot take for the season. So, James, I'll start with you. What is your biggest hot take for the season?
Arsenal finish higher than Tottenham.
That's a bit of a hot take considering Antonio Conte and Spurs.
Exactly. That's why the pressure's on them, innit? They've brought Perisic, they've brought in Richarlison. Like, however you want to see it, like, people rate him. And like, they've got Conte in it. When you get those serious kind of managers, that means we're pushing for this, and that. So, yeah, that's my hot take.
Richard, what about you? Your Premier League hot take for the season?
City won't win the league.
And who will? Liverpool?
Yeah, I do think this season might be Liverpool's. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, I think City won't win the league.
Well, why is that? Because of them getting rid of Sterling and Jesus?
Yeah, and I just don't think Haaland is their type of player.
Don't forget Alvarez, though. He's hungry.
Yeah, but you can't sign Haaland and start playing Alvarez ahead of him.
But it depends what works for Pep, though, innit? If it's not working, then
this is Pep. Pep drops anyone he wants. We know
that. I know, but
he will shout at you and drop you.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, with Haaland, I don't mean it from a goal standpoint. Like, he might still end up with 18 league goals or whatever. But I think what people say Ronaldo is to United, I do think Haaland might be that to City. That the football it won't be as good. It might.
I don't think so because I know this is we've only seen Haaland play one game for City.
Real talk.
Like this is I think it's mad. You've only seen him play one game for City.
The thing is, but I'm not judging my opinion of that one game. What I was thinking that before that one game anyway. So
Yeah, but
You already came with negative connotations about it.
one game.
You didn't even get him getting started.
Do you know what I mean? Let's look at this one game against City. Don't get too silly. Harlem had crazy movement in that game. And
That's the thing. Like,
although he
how
didn't
will
score,
score,
he was
man.
always in the right place at the right time. Like, bro, like if your striker doesn't score, that is what you want to see from your striker, being in the right place at the right time, because you know any other day they're putting that in the back of the net. And if there's one person that knows where the goal is, it's Erling Haaland. So I don't fear.
But there were a couple of times that they did give it to him in the right position, and his touches just let him down.
Yeah, but he's getting used to it.
It's his first game, and it's still pre-season.
You're forgetting he's what, 22 now? He's 22. Give him
You know what I
a
mean?
chance, man. That is so harsh.
They're saying
I just can't sit here and imagine like Haaland not being able to rack up the goals. Like he might do them in bunches, and there might be like a little period where he doesn't score, but it's going to be so short-lived. Like this guy is like a goal machine. So I just can't imagine that. I just can't. I'll be a hot take. You know, if City don't win the league, the only team I can't lie. The only team that will stop City winning the league won't be Liverpool. It'll be Chelsea. I can't see Liverpool winning the league.
I hope so.
I'm guessing this is your hot take, yeah.
No. My hot take is
that's your hot take, bro.
my hot take is Vieira, Gerrard, and Lampard. All three will be out of a job.
Ooh, no, not Vieira though. Not my guy.
Nah, he might be your guy. But yeah, all three will be out of a job. The first Lampard and Gerrard are guaranteed for me. But yeah, the hot take element of it would be Vieira, but I think all three will be out of a job.
So your hot take is Gerrard, Vieira, and Lampard.
Anyone who that used to play will get
all sacked this season.
I said, used to play.
My hot take has to do with Chelsea. I feel like if Chelsea don't get the attackers they need, Thomas Tuchel doesn't make it to the end of the season. Because I remember seeing a stat last season that Chelsea's home win percentage at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League is less than 50%. And I know if Abramovich was there, he would have been gone by now, right?
That's the thing. So I'm not calling that much of a hot take because I said that if Abramovich was there, he was already sacked.
I think he's already on his way out. And if he doesn't get the players he wants, and if you guys don't start winning week in, week out, because Thomas Tuchel made his team hard to beat, but he can't go and impose himself like week in, week out to other teams. I haven't seen that from Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel. I've seen you guys are a very hard team to beat. I give you that. But go into places week in, week out. You guys used to give points like charity. Do you know what I mean? So my hot take is, it's not even that much of a hot take. I think it's a hot take because of Todd Bowley, and I don't know how he acts. But my hot take is, I think he would have to go down a really, really bad hill for him to get sacked by Todd Bowley. But I honestly feel like if you guys are not careful, Mr. Tommy T. Tuchel will be out of the job, and I'm low-key here for it.
Yeah, but then we'll probably sign someone like Luis Enrique, and they'll be like, oh, here we go. We got another manager who's got a bit of a name.
After the World Cup, though. Not during the World Cup.
Yeah. But so I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next manager for Chelsea anyway. Like, if you were going to think about anyone who's not managed Chelsea, because who hasn't managed Chelsea right now? Like, if you keep it, everyone has. Who's got a name has managed Chelsea. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's the next one lined up.
All right. Last question. Who is going to be your player to watch for the season?
Do you know what?
And who are you putting on Fraud Watch?
Oh, Fraud Watch, easy. Jack Grealish.
I hear it.
You've had one season.
He should be on Fraud Watch since last season, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, you've had one season to sit in, so I gave you that. Now let me see what you can do. I remember, just remember, I was the first one here that championed Mount over Grealish, and now I want to see what you can really do.
He did.
So
he did.
I did.
I remember.
Same with Foden.
I remember he did. No, I'm still back though.
But yeah, I think Grealish, easy, 100% Fraud Watch. I want to see what you can do because I said it before. I thought this move, at the end of the day, he's been at Villa for so long, and there's a level to Villa, there's a level to City. You escalated too quickly, but then also your age is running out. So Villa, Grealish is the Fraud Watch. The player to watch, I want to say Gabriel Jesus. because the fact that he's going to be leading this line, he's going to be the number one guy, and how he's performed through pre-season. I want to see if he can hit that 15, 16 goals a season. I mean, you guys have seen that video of Tim Vickery, haven't you? When he talks about, so I'm bare people like slated him. I was thinking, this guy's South American, like the guy. So why are you not even talking about him anyway?
Bro, when it comes to Tim Vickery, he knows his stuff, man. He's been
Well, I want to see now and it's a World Cup year. So let me see where you are come November time. But yeah, Gabriel Jesus is probably that player to watch. And then the fraud watch is Jack Grealish, easy.
All right. James, what about you? Fraud watch and player to watch?
Player to watch, Eberici Eze. I think
Yeah.
what Crystal Palace are doing, like they're quite an entertaining team, and I think he's one of the big reasons why they're so entertaining. I low-key want to put Haaland on fraud watch. I want to see. I want to see like what he's really on, because it's like throughout the season, if you've got like CR Prison, if he's able to get 18, I'm expecting a guy that's in Man City system to be able to at least get 18 as well. Yeah. It's like, that's why I'm not judging him on the preseason, but once the season starts. Like, if you've got it, you've got it. You'll be able to show us that. So if I'm not seeing a certain amount of goals at the end of the season, like, we will have to look into Haaland. And it will kind of be like, what's Bellingham going to bring to the Prem? Because even Sancho, he came from Bundesliga. Like, it hasn't been the easiest for him. Now we've got Haaland that's into it. Like, we'll see what he's on. Grealish is a shout as well, because he was saying all of that stuff at the end of the season about how he's now going to play with freedom because he's been adjusted. So it's like, if this season doesn't work out, then obviously it was capping.
Do you know why I can't put Haaland fraud watch? I know, like, I'm one of the few people that says the transfer fee doesn't matter. But in this case, it's literally only 50 million. So
no, but it's not even transfer fee. I think
it's his name though. It's his name.
His name. I think his name.
And it's only that because what's it called? Borussia Dortmund lacked. Like, realistically, he's 100 million player. Like, he just didn't go last season.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm with James as well. Fraud watch is Haaland. And by the way,
you're on him, man.
Haaland's goals against Southampton this season don't count because they play Haaland.
That is funny.
We're discounting that, but no, I said for the same reasons. I don't know. It's just gonna be. I'm just interested to see how it works out, and I don't know. I don't really get any personal pleasure from him if he doesn't succeed, but I don't know. High-profile players, when they go to rivals, some of them you just want to see them fall. So
it's like that miss that he had against Liverpool. That was like pressure. He's never had that kind of pressure in the Bundesliga. Yeah, no matter who he's faced.
He could miss 10 chances in Germany and no one caught. But I said there's no person against Haaland, didn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to hate. And I think Rashford will be on fraud watch as well. I do think it will be interesting.
Why? He's been
on the other side.
He's been on it for the past 2-3 years, bro.
Not even a watch, right?
Yeah, not even a watch anymore.
Donating the watch.
They keep telling me that Martial and Rashford and Sancho, the front three, is going to be back in business. So I'm just...
Don't let Man United Twitter fool you about that front three. Don't let
Martial, Sancho, yes. Rashford, no.
Nah. Sancho may be the only one on fraud watch, but he failed his fraud watch last season because bare people put it on fraud watch, and I saw more pictures of who's that Arsenal brother of Troops. You remember that guy on Twitter?
When he was sitting on his kitchen counter.
Picture of Troops. Yeah. Kennington's find it. Yeah, I saw so many pictures of that week in, week out, bro. So, but I feel like Sancho will have a much better season.
He looks good in preseason.
He looks good in preseason. And
I agree. Passing these players, but I think it's Jesus. As I said, he's going to be leading the line at Arsenal, which is funny. It's crazy that he was at the club whole of season, and CC player just kept on saying we don't have a striker. I wonder if he felt disrespected by that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
But it's like Zinchenko, isn't it? He was being forced to play left back, and apparently he wants to play in midfield.
He's playing left back. Do you know what I mean?
They're all disrespected by Pep.
He's gone to Arsenal to continue playing left back, anyways. So
yeah, true. Well,
I mean, Jesus, I think his highest goal scoring season is 14 league goals. I think he only scored 8 goals last season, and 4 of them came in one game, if I'm correct. So I don't know. It will be interesting. see
funny.
how that turns out. So he's my player, and it's Olivier from
Michael
Crystal
Elise, yeah,
Yeah,
from Crystal
Elise.
Palace.
From Crystal Palace. He might be interesting. Maybe Chelsea can snatch him up. I don't know. We'll see.
For what? And do what with him?
Put him
I
back
don't
on
know.
loans.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
ain't
you know what I
playing.
mean?
You ain't gonna play.
Loan him out. All right. Last but not least, my fraud watch is I don't like that no one's mentioned him just because he scored that little goal in the Community Shield final. Darwin Núñez, bro, I'm on you.
Yeah, it's the same. Yes, it's the same as well. Yeah. It's exactly like Haaland.
Because we were linked with him all throughout the summer, and I was screaming to people, I don't want this brother, bro.
I don't
still
want
made him step over. I don't want this. I said 100 mil. I don't want this brother, bro. Don't want him anywhere near my club. Now he's gone for the rivals. Don't get twisted. I feel he will score goals. I feel like he will score goals. Like that Community Shield showed that he will score goals. But listen, if I don't, I've got a bet.
Magnifying glasses out.
Oh, bro, I've got to bet with some people if I don't have if that he scores 20 Premier League goals, and I don't think he does. So I think
20 league goals, that's a lot of goals.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say the number's 18. 18,
which is fine. If it's 18, I still win. So I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But yeah, Darwin Núñez, I'm coming for you, man. No homo. But last one, that's my number one fraud watch this season. Grealish is a good shout. I'm on.
You're on the clock.
Yeah, he's definitely on the clock.
What about McTominay? Is he on fraud watch? Because like,
What?
but
What's
he's trusted.
What is to watch?
Say Ten Hag comes in and he makes him look like a better player and stuff like that.
Nah, bro. Ten Hag even said this. I'm a manager. I can't perform miracles. Him making him look like a better penetrator. Nah,
that is fun.
Nah, bro.
No, why players leaving before the game's done? I think that's incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I saw it two-way, right? So the players are leaving. However, like if you're a fan outside Old Trafford, you get that one-to-one interaction with that player just for a bit longer than you would have at the end of the game. So, if anything,
what? Nah, but you know they don't care about you. You know they look through you, like they're not even trying to chat to you. Like
they look through Ronaldo.
That one was a weird one, to be fair.
Nah, he's looking through them. Like, nah, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like he cared. Man was just like, yeah. Man was like, can you be fans of a Champions League club, please? You don't know. You proper don't like United. Like,
I don't like the club either, bro.
Messi won because what's it called? Like preseason, he's scoring good goals.
Oh no, Messi.
Teams would definitely go for Messi. If Messi was like, I'm leaving PSG, teams would queue up to get Messi.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Messi legacy season happened already last season. No redos. You had your chance.
Nah, he got like 15 assists. Like,
that is an all-time thinker. But yeah.
Well, so and I don't really care what it does in the league, but the way he missed that pen against Madrid and it ended up costing them, I think that's the stamp on the legacy for me. So, he has to win PSG the Champions League.
Yeah.
But, that is long. They're not built like that.
No, I don't think they are either. Who's my player to watch out for a season? Crystal Palace, Malcolm Eboyi. They signed him from Derby. He's decent. We played him in pre-season, and I thought he's decent. Another player I feel like is going to ball out this season.
Everyone's loving off Crystal Palace.
I think Sancho is really going to have a good season at United. Only because now United are trying to play progressive football. They're trying to play the football that Sancho's kind of used to, and from pre-season he's been thriving from it at the moment. So I feel like Sancho is going to be one to watch. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up there. Guys, thank you for listening to another episode of our Premier League preview. You know, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. You can follow us, like, share, subscribe, all of that on the Zone LDN. All of our Twitters and Instagrams, all on that stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And last but not least, until next time, people.